the vital role that campaigns and elections play in the battle of ideas. We'll explore that and more on today's edition of Life Matters. Brian Johnston has served in many capacities while advocating for innocent lives, as the Western Director of the National Right to Life Committee, as California Commissioner on Aging, as Chairman of the California Pro-Life Council, on the board of the National Legal Center for the Medically Dependent and Disabled. And now here's our host, Brian Johnston.
Well, welcome back to Life Matters. We're your program on the real right to life. That's right, on what it really is. You see, there's a lot of confusing ideas out there. There's a fog, what's sometimes called the fog of war. There's a fog in terms of what's really going on. What are we really concerned about? What are we fighting over? Why do we care? If you support the right to life, you have a duty, a responsibility to bring clarity, to bring an understanding of why and what it is you're trying to accomplish. And that's what we do here on Life Matters. We take a deep dive and examine the actual facts. Right now, we're looking at election 2024, and there's a lot of confusion. And there shouldn't be. You shouldn't be confused. We're going to come to some conclusions today that hopefully you've already come to. But perhaps your neighbors or your friends are confused. So we're going to help you know what to do. Knowing stuff is important, but it's what you do that defines you. Your actions do matter, and we're going to help you have an understanding of the proper and wisest actions to take when it comes to defending the lives of the innocent, because that's what we're out to do when it comes to the right to life. So here in 2024, it's an election year. You know that the general media, what I tend to call the Orwellian media, and that's really what Orwell was talking about in his book 1984, the dominant media culture, telling people what and how to think and confusing them, dumbing them down, making everything simplistic and not allowing them to get to the deeper issues. That's what your current media is doing to you. That's what it's doing to your faith in terms of applying your faith to this life. Because if you believe in God, and as you know, if you've listened to this program, I'm not ashamed to say I believe in the living God, that I am a Christian. I believe that this God that we worship made all things. And did you know that the founding fathers of the United States of America, they all had slightly different theologies, but they all understood the God they worshiped is the God that made all things, and that God has revealed himself. If you've read in the book of Romans is about the fact that God has indeed revealed himself through the laws of nature, and nature's God. And literally, as it says in Romans 1:20, he shall hold everyone accountable because he has revealed his unseen nature through the things that are indeed seen. So our founding fathers agreed with that, and they talked about certain self-evident truths. What that means is that if you think about what is it that's true, if you turn off the television, if you turn down the Orwellian media that wants to fill your head with confusion, and you think, what is it that's really true? You have to look for self-evident truths that are already revealed in nature. Test those truths. God wants us to do that. If you're a Christian, you should know that by now. God wants you to test, to find out, to test the spirits. Make sure that what you're going to pursue is valid and true. And so that's what we talk about when we talk about the right to life and why we should be concerned about it in our culture. So the right to life is about protecting innocent human lives that should be protected by the government. Government has certain duties, and to ensure these rights, governments are instituted among men. That's something that every American should understand. Some people are confused right now. Some people want to minimize the value of an individual life and what really happened in Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton. When we come back, I'm going to remind you of what really happened and why it's still very much with us. Some people think, oh, well, Roe v. Wade's overturned and it's all gone now. No, nothing could be further from the truth. The media has lied to you, and many naive Christians have believed the media. And so they're not really fighting for innocent human life. They've decided to change their focus. They're going to go someplace else where their feelings lead them. But they haven't studied to show themselves approved. We're going to talk about that, what the right to life is, what Roe v. Wade and Doe versus Bolton, its companion decision, did, and what Dobbs actually did. Finally, we're going to talk about what you've got to do, what you have got to do in this coming election if you do care about this nation, the gifts that you've been given as an American, to walk in freedom, to pursue what's true, and to apply those principles to your life and to the civic life of your nation. You will have to apply yourselves to that. We're going to talk about that today. There's a lot to go into, and we'll be right back after this.
Life Matters continues after this.
Are you willing to step up to be a lifeguard? We're asking you to consider becoming a Life Matters lifeguard. On Life Matters, we cut to the depths of this cultural battle of ideas that has robbed America of its core values and robbed the innocent of their right to life. Anything you can pledge is appreciated. But if you pledge $19 a month, we will make you part of the Life Matters lifeguard team, getting you the important tools and dynamic information to help save lives and encourage others in understanding the lurking dangers in today's deadly cross-currents of culture. Your pledge helps us with our costs of broadcast. It keeps the full understanding of the right to life going out over our numerous radio stations and also facilitates the important podcast that carries even more programming. Please go to the front page of the Life Matters website and click on the donate button. Your donation is deeply appreciated.
And now back to more Life Matters with Brian Johnston.
Welcome back to Life Matters. We told you we're going to talk about the real right to life. A lot of people say they believe in the right to life, but to them it's a feeling. I like babies. It's my feeling. I just feel it. And I have nothing against feelings. Feelings are good things. They feel good sometimes. They feel bad other times. They should not be your definition of right and wrong. If you only use your feelings to determine right and wrong, you can be very easily misled. You must be willing to dig deeper. So right now, we'll just mention again, many of you know my book, Evil Twins, Roe and Doe, How the Supreme Court Unleashed Medical Killing. In this book, Evil Twins, Roe and Doe, we explain that Roe v. Wade actually was two decisions, the Roe versus Wade decision, but also the combined companion decision, Doe v. Bolton. And in Doe v. Bolton, the real purpose was to create a class of killers. If there was going to be legal abortion, remember for 50 years, abortion was legalized. Who was doing the killing? Doe versus Bolton spelled it out. Doe versus Bolton said what it was. It wasn't the mothers doing the killing. No, it was to be the former healing profession, the people who should be the least likely to be the killers. They were now assigned by the most powerful tribunal. The Supreme Court of the United States said, we want doctors to kill on request and to do it in the way that they think best. And that's very important to understand. Let me just read. Here's just a portion from Roe v. Wade. And this is reading from Justice Blackmun. This is Roe v. Wade at page 166. Quote, the abortion decision in all its aspects is inherently and primarily a medical decision, and basic responsibility for it must rest with the physician. Close quote. That's from Roe v. Wade. And then in Doe v. Bolton, it goes into detail. Those of you who have read the book or have actually read the decisions know that the life are health, and health is equated with life. And then Blackmun goes on to define health as anything that the doctor decides. The woman could ask, I would like to have an abortion right now. I would like to have a saline abortion. It's late term. She can't do that, according to Roe v. Wade. No, according to Roe v. Wade, she can ask. She can make the request. She can ask permission, but it is the doctor who is now to take the action The doctor is to be the killer. Why am I driving this home? Because I think many pro-lifers don't get it. Many pro-lifers are in a fog. The real assault of January 22nd, 1973 is the medical profession was destroyed, literally destroyed. Doctors were instructed to kill their fellow human beings. This is critically important. The Hippocratic Oath, which for millennia has guided doctors, and it was actually the Hippocratic Oath that guided the laws in the United States. So after the American Civil War, it was actually the American Medical Association. The American Medical Association had the crusade against abortion, the Doctors' Crusade. And this is critically important because, in point of fact, it was built on the Hippocratic Oath, and science had showed us. We understood now that this was a human being in the womb, and our laws needed to reflect actual science. It was those laws that were in existence in every state, and it was those laws that were overturned by Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton. Again, many people naively think that Roe and Doe were simply dismissed by the Dobbs decision. That is not true. I've done programs on it. The Dobbs decision, sadly, was celebrated, and it should not have been. It was not understood. And that bothered me at the time. I explained to people who should have known what the real right to life is, that this was an ominous decision. And the fact is, it's very similar to Dred Scott. When you say, okay, well, some states can be free and some can be slave, but we can bring slavery into the free states. That was the Dred Scott decision. And that's what the Dobbs decision did in 22. The Dobbs decision basically said, yeah, if you want to protect babies, fine, in your state. But if pro-abortion advocates want to come into your state and promote abortion, they can do that. We should not have celebrated the Dobbs decision. But people didn't understand. They were in a fog. So our purpose is to clear the fog. I want to remind you that the real crime that took place in 1973, yes, babies could be killed, but you need to go deeper. Who's killing them? Who got to kill them? The court was specific. The court said in every aspect, this is a medical decision and the doctor is the final decider. Medicine was assaulted, the most precious profession in our culture, who promised to care for and never harm their fellow human beings, became killers. And now doctors are free to kill. If you haven't noticed, it's going on all around you. The water is boiling, but the frogs are distracted. The water is boiling. Doctors now are free to kill, something that goes against not just the Hippocratic Oath, but Western civilization's values. You don't kill the vulnerable innocent. Yet it's happening. There are professionals at the highest level. Dare I say, Dr. Fauci had no obligation to the Hippocratic Oath. Oh, you're getting political. Yes, I am. Because political means policies. And the highest paid, most powerful doctor on earth, Dr. Fauci, used his profession and actually apparently made some money doing it, but he used it to weaponize a virus. Did you hear what I said? To weaponize, to enhance its ability to cause infection and harm. That's not what a doctor does. That's not the Hippocratic Oath. And yet, he is still being defended by the Orwellian media. Dr. Fauci is a good doctor. No, I'm afraid he is not a good doctor. And I am very proud of Senator Dr. Rand Paul. Did you know that Rand Paul is a medical doctor in addition to being a U.S. Senator? And he is very upset at the evil our government has been involved in through Dr. Fauci. So when a doctor leaves the high road of his profession, he can become the first among evil perpetrators. And that's what we are seeing, because that's what Roe v. Wade did. It threw open the killing profession within medicine. And if you don't recognize that, you don't recognize the battle you're in. A lot of times people go into battle. If you don't know you're in a battle, you lose. If you're playing checkers, but you don't know how it works, you're going to lose. If you're playing chess and you don't understand the chessboard, you're going to lose if someone else does understand. You must bring understanding to the battle of ideas. Ideas have consequences. And if you listen to our program before, or if you read the scriptures, you know that ideas are spiritual things, and you must guard your heart and your mind. You must be very careful with the kind of ideas that you embrace, and what is the predicate? In other words, what's the foundation for the ideas that you embrace? One more time, I am going to use her. Some people still question when I bring this up, but in point of fact, the Supreme Court justices that had to deal with Roe v. Wade, and even on the other side, Ruth Bader Ginsburg agrees with what I'm telling you, that Roe v. Wade, because of Doe versus Bolton, because it authorized doctors to be killers, it didn't really authorize what the radical feminists want. The radical feminists wanted whatever they wanted when they wanted it. But that isn't what Roe did. That isn't what was authorized. It only gave doctors authority to kill at their discretion. A woman could ask, but it was entirely, as I've read to you, it's doctors killing, and doctors are continuing to kill right now. If you don't understand that, you're in great danger and your loved ones are in danger. As I have mentioned on this program before, euthanasia is very common now, what's sometimes called assisted suicide. We've gone into depth on the language game that the Orwellian media plays on you, but we're talking about medical killing, doctors intentionally killing. If you're not prepared for this battle, you will lose. If your loved ones have to suddenly go into a hospital and the doctor comes out with his conclusions and you don't exactly know what's going on, if you're in an emotional fog, and worse, if emotions are all that guide you, doctors know how to manipulate emotions. Ask any woman that's had an abortion. Ask these girls that have gone through abortion counseling now how they felt pressured to have abortions. We're talking about killing human beings, and if you don't understand it's doctors who are now killers, you won't know what to do when the time comes. So let me go back now. Let's hear her again. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, could you please tell us what Roe really did?
Another feature of Roe is Roe really isn't about the woman's choice, is it? It's about the doctor's freedom to practice his profession as he thinks best. It wasn't woman-centered. It was physician-centered.
So that was Ruth Bader Ginsburg underscoring what I've been trying to get across, and with people who understand the real right to life fight do understand. Doctors became killers on January 22nd, 73. It changed the medical profession forever. And unless you, and I've done programs on this, will do more, how you can make sure you have a good doctor, you have to hold them accountable to the oath. And we'll show you how to do that. And I want to bring up in this election year what you've got to do with your vote, because votes matter. Elections matter. Votes, ballots, not bullets, are the way to change things in a democratic republic, which is what you've been given. You have to understand what this election is about, and there's a lot of confusion. So when we come back, I'm going to go in depth as why you must understand the 2024 electoral year and why you have to be actively involved in helping others to vote properly.
Life Matters continues after this.
I want to remind you of my book, Evil Twins, Roe and Doe, How the Supreme Court Unleashed Medical Killing. Available on Amazon and wherever fine books are sold. I recommend getting the Kindle version because there's links to all the documenting evidence. This isn't because I say it. This is actually what reality is. Every pro-life and even pro-abortion legal expert admits Roe v. Wade makes no sense. It's actually Doe v. Bolton that unleashed doctors to kill a baby at any time whenever they wanted. You need to find out those facts, and they're documented. And the fact is we're not addressing the reality of legalized abortion. We want to help you understand this battle right now. You can get the audio version online. Evil Twins, Roe and Doe, How the Supreme Court Unleashed Medical Killing. You're going to come away from the book with a new understanding of what this battle is actually about.
And now back to more Life Matters with Brian Johnston.
Welcome back. We're talking about election 2024. There's things for you to do if you believe in the right to life, if you believe that there's something wrong in our culture that has to be addressed. I'll just cut to the chase. The media is going to try to confuse you. The media is going to try to make it about personalities. Suddenly and magically, now I have not met her personally, but she was in fact here in Sacramento for many years, and she was the Attorney General for California. In that capacity, when it was exposed that Planned Parenthood was buying and selling human baby body parts on demand, making money out of killing babies and selling their organs, when that was exposed, it was actually our Attorney General, Kamala Harris. She didn't go after Planned Parenthood. She went after David Daleiden. She went after the Center for Medical Progress, which exposed this great evil. She used the power and authority to actually attack those who were revealing the truth. As I said, a lot of the stuff you get over major media is actually not true. It is Orwellian. It's designed to make you feel and go. And if you are a person of conscience, if they can't get you to vote with them, they just want to neutralize you. They want to use language. They want to use verbiage that gets you to go in a different direction. The election of 1864 was extremely close, and Abraham Lincoln nearly did not win. And please, I hope if you haven't read the history of the United States and studied it, you really should. He was attacked because he was said to be a despot. There were many Republicans that didn't like him. In fact, he didn't run as a Republican. He actually had to form a new third party because there were many Republicans who thought he was soft. That's true. John C. Fremont thought that Abraham Lincoln was soft on slavery. Now, John C. Fremont, I've studied, know a lot about him. He was a Californian. He was the first man to run for the Republican Party ticket as president in 1856, and he lost. But he said that Lincoln was half-hearted and wasn't opposed to slavery enough. So they were attacking him from the right, but on the left, the Democrats put up one of his former generals, John McClellan. And McClellan ran as a Democrat, even though he had been a general for Lincoln. He ran against Lincoln. It was a very close race, and it came very, very close. It would have changed history. There's so much there, but they attacked Lincoln. He was unpopular. So people are telling you, well, don't go with Trump. He's unpopular. He's mean. He says mean things. And in point of fact, Lincoln did mean things. Lincoln was a despot in some ways. He actually brought martial law to the United States. He removed the right of habeas corpus. So citizens could be arrested under Lincoln and tried by military tribunals. It's true. Lincoln used the authority of president, and you aren't told that today. You aren't reminded that he had to do a lot. That was a very close war and a very close election. In fact, in July of 1864, it looked like the North was about to lose. At the Battle of Cold Harbor, Grant had lost thousands in one day, a tremendous defeat. The Confederate Army had come within 5 miles of Washington, D.C. The war was almost over. And after the Battle of Cold Harbor, they wanted to get rid of Abraham Lincoln and just bring a peace, even in the North. Now, there were Democrats in the North. They wanted a peace. And there were Republicans who were tired of the killing. It was a very, very difficult war. If you don't know American history, if you don't understand the principles at stake, you won't know what to do now. Right now, there's so much at stake in the election of 2024. And you're being told by the dominant media that somehow the great hope for the future, for progress, for freedom is now this woman who everyone had already recognized was incapable of thinking clearly. She lied about Joe Biden and was defending the lie that somehow he was capable. And yet, now suddenly, she's being vaunted as a hero by the dominant media culture. Please do not allow your friends to buy that. She is one of the most radical pro-death, pro-Marxist. And if you've studied Marx, you know what I'm saying. Many people think you're being mean by invoking Marxism. It's because they haven't studied Marx. Marx wanted progress, in quotes, to change. He wanted to destroy what had gone before. so he could build a new society. And somehow that new society would bring unlimited freedom. That's what progressives promise. But they must first destroy that which is on a foundation. They must destroy the old foundations. That's exactly what Vice President Harris is doing. That's what she did as vice president. She's still vice president. And please don't let your friends fall for that. Now, in terms of Donald Trump's personality, I have to admit, he is a spontaneous guy. He tells you what he thinks. Maybe he hasn't thought it all the way through at the time because he's not a politician. This man is not a politician. And people want, and the Orwellian media loves, politicians who carefully frame their language, who are very careful to get it just right so they can land right in the middle, and then they can say they're different. But they're not. They're simply going for power. If you look at the principles that are being defended by President Trump, who seeks re-election, you must look at the principles and not the personalities. Please think through what the media tells you. Please think more deeply. We're here at Life Matters to deal with the real right to life. There's a fog about what this is about. Well, if we just stay out of politics and if we get diapers and counsel girls, then abortion will go away. That is a myth. That's a lie. It feels good, I have to tell you. I've given quite a bit of funds from our family to crisis pregnancy centers, glad to help those in need, but that's a work of corporal mercy. I was naked and you clothed me. I was hungry and you fed me. That's a good thing to do. I'm not saying it's not good. Our job is to be involved in works of spiritual mercy, to lead people into the truth. That's what a work of spiritual mercy is, to explain to people who are confused in the futility of their mind. And I'm quoting here from the book of Timothy. They've been taken captive in the foolishness of their mind to do the work of the devil. It's our job to explain what is true. You must do that. And in the world of policy and politics, it deals with what is true, what should be good laws, what are good policies. That's what's at stake in the 2024 election. If you don't understand that, then you don't understand the battle of ideas. You're not thinking deeply. You're not committing yourself to study to show yourself approved. You're not applying your heart, soul, mind, and strength to the battle you're in right now. And I'm here to adjure you to do that, to think more deeply. Don't be distracted by the media version of things. Look more deeply. Thanks for listening.
Learn more about everything in today's show online at lifematters.life, where you'll find all the resources you need to protect life. Life Matters is a production of the California Pro-Life Council.